Welcome back to the channel. My name is Delina. I am so glad you clicked on the video today, and we are in my living room today. Last week we did the dining room refresh with all the new items, and this week we're going to do the other half of the great room, and that is the living room part of it. So we're going to talk about the drapes. We're going to talk about my new furniture piece. And we're going to do a lot of decorating, I should say. So for those that are new here, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to kind of pan it around so you can see the space that we're working in. I always like to do that because I think that with certain camera angles, you're not getting the whole picture. So, and especially in this room, which is open dining room, living room, and then it's open to the kitchen. Take the camera, do a 360, and we'll come right back to where I'm standing. So this is my front door, and then I'm gonna pan it around. My hutch, the lights haven't come on yet. They're on a timer. So down the hallway, and then we have the living room. Just pan it around. If you see the flickering on the fireplace, that is because they are LED lights, and when you film LED lights, they tend to flicker. And the pass-through to the kitchen. And as I turn you around, this is the dining room, which we did last week. And back to the front door. I had a couch here. I will insert a photo of said couch. We had for many years, it had shown its wear and tear. It was kind of sad. Although my son, husband, all love that couch, I hated it. So I've been looking for a couch for a while. I can't afford brand new, but excuse me. I wanted something classic, neutral, and yet comfortable or firm enough to hold up to all of us sitting and lounging on it. We were heading to lunch, and I said to my husband, let's just pop into the thrift store on our way to lunch. This thrift store is known for having kind of high prices on their furniture, so I never think about furniture when I walk into there. Well, lo and behold, this couch was sitting in the middle of the floor, and I thought, they're gonna want a whole bunch of money for it. I walked over, and it was in my budget. And I looked at my husband, he just kind of rolled his eyes. He says, well, we're gonna have to go back and get the truck because we can't fit it in the back of my car. And it turned into a little bit of a little more than he was expecting. But we got it home. I put it out in the garage, I cleaned it, I Scotch guarded it. We had to move the old couch out, which my youngest son took. And then we had to move everything in. And you know, when you bring something new in, it's always a, oh, do I like it? Do I not like it? Kind of situation. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll give you a overview of my couch. So as you see, this is the couch. It's a super light beige kind of weave into it. It almost looks like white from a distance, or cream, light cream from a distance. Matches my walls, but I wasn't too sure about it matching the rug. Yeah, it's always something. Okay, we've talked about the couch. Let's talk about the new drapes. Y'all know how much I like to change things up. If you've been with me long enough, you have seen me change out the drapes several times on this channel. It's an open concept room. It's a lot of windows. When we first moved in, I left just the blinds. I lived with that for a while, and I thought, I really didn't add anything to the room. Visually, it just, no wow. So then I had some light blue drapes, and I only had 2 panels though, and I hung one on each of the dining room windows, and I thought, okay, I kind of like those. Went back to Amazon where I originally purchased them, and they no longer sold those. So I thought, okay, scratch that idea. Went looking again. I then went and purchased a microfiber drape that was very close to the wall color. And I moved the curtain rod up like all the designers tell you to do, so it makes your room look larger. And I hung those drapes, and they were fine. They were very monochromatic, very clean look. But again, no wow factor. Went back to the drawing board, purchased some navy blue ones when I was trying to put more navy blue into the house. And the problem though, when I moved the drape up, it left me with a very odd length from rod to floor, which meant that anything that I purchased, I would have to hem. And I didn't spend a whole lot of money. They weren't the best quality. They didn't hang right. They just looked very dark on camera. They were, again, no added design to the overall room. And then I thought, okay, maybe I'll just sew my own. So I thought about that, and I was looking at fabric when UniCurt reached out to me and offered me an opportunity to have custom drapes made for my space. They have a measuring tool on their website that allows you to take these measurements, and it tells you have options of, do you want to kiss the bottom of the floor, puddle, above, any length you pretty much want, and any width that you want. So many options. I was like a kid in a candy store. I thought, okay, let me look at all the options. And I finally narrowed it down and picked what I wanted and placed my order. And I will leave all the information for their website, the link, what I picked in the description box below. So check that out. And now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around, give you a better close-up of the drapes, tell you a little bit about UniCurt as the company, and then I'm gonna show you the before and after, and we'll go from there. UniCurt gifted me these drapes. They are a budget-friendly custom drapery company who use fine fabrics and a huge selection of patterns and colors to choose from. They have many options to choose from when you're selecting your custom drapes, from tab tops to grommet to pinch pleats. When you order a pinch pleat, they actually provide you an adjustable clip that allows you to have the perfect fit from rod to floor. They provide you free drapery training, which means when you open them up, they are ready to hang right out of the box. They also are shipping for free worldwide. They made such a huge transformation in my space. I chose the Priya Beige. They are such a beautiful drape. I chose it to get mine lined, and they almost look like they're embroidered. They are so gorgeous. I have the free training, so they came just like you see them. Here's the adjustable clips, because mine were pinch pleated. So these allow me to adjust for any imperfections in my floor. So they just kiss my floor, and that's the option that I chose. So we talked about the drapes, talked about the new piece of couch, or the new piece of furniture, the couch. Let's get it started on decorating. So you've seen this arrangement on the back behind the couch. I've only changed one item. And that's this box that, it comes from Hobby Lobby. They call it a storage box. And it comes with a bunch of little sections inside of it. My son went in and he cut 6 of the sections out. So there are now 3 cubbies into this box. And I have mounted it onto the wall into studs. So I don't have to worry about it falling off the wall. And the wreath is the same as it's been. Like I said in past, we're going to start decorating for fall in the beginning of August. So I'm just going to leave this one. It's a very neutral wreath. It's one that I made. And then the 2 photos on the end are just prints that I got off of royalty free. I get them from Etsy. And then you can, if you get it from Etsy, you download it and then you can have them printed off on your own printer, or you could go to Walgreens and use a coupon and get them printed. So, all right, we're gonna start here on the little cubby. I've got a Geo quartz that my son, he had had a few of these and he didn't want them anymore, and I took them because I thought they were pretty. And I'm just gonna set that in there. I've got an old antique pulley that, again, I'm gonna set that there. A silver trinket box, and I'm gonna put that in the last cubby. I've got a pewter, like, I guess it would be a jewelry box. And I'm gonna set that in this corner with a brass candle snuffer. And I'm gonna set that right there. I've got a set of 3 books that I tied with twine. And I'm gonna like fan them out just a little bit so that they sit sort of like that. Another set of books. I've got a brass bell and a fake pair of old spectacles that I just thought went with the whole reading. And I'm gonna set those on the ends. And I have a paperweight that was my mother's that I'm gonna put right here. And then at the end, I will give us a up-close tour and a closer look at all the vignettes and the decorating that we've done. Now, I'm gonna pull the camera further back and we're gonna do the couch and the end table. Now, this little end table used to sit next to my husband's recliner. The space here, width-wise, my other end table would stick further over. So when I asked AI said, why don't you switch them out? And I had never thought about it and went ahead and did that. So we have a bird in a cage. I got this from Hobby Lobby a while back. Set that there. Thrifted this little bird. It's a candle holder, and I have a faux fern in here. And that's, I'm gonna put right here just to add a little bit of greenery. And you're gonna see throughout the living room, dining room, it's all about the greenery. Now, as far as styling the couch, I have pillowcase covers that I either make or I have thrifted. This one I made out of a couple of kitchen dish towels. And I put a zipper in it so I can wash it, because that's probably when you have pets and kids and messy adults, you need to be able to wash it. Now I'm just gonna set that one right here. This one was done with 2 placemats that were on clearance from Hobby Lobby. I sewed them, and again, the zipper and the bottom, and I am going to place that one next to the green one. Now, at the other end of the couch, I've laid a lightweight throw that's in the color, that creamy, beigey, yellowish color. It's in my rug in the drapes, to bring it up here onto the couch. And then I've got a thrifted blue pillow cover. And again, I made this one out of a table runner that matches the one off of my dining room. And I'm just gonna sit right there. And that's all I'm gonna do to this couch. I'm gonna keep it super, super simple because, again, we have the fall season coming up and it is gonna be a whole bunch of decorating for the fall. So, and you know, I add more and more and more when the fall season rolls around and when Christmas rolls around. So I'm taking this kind of time before just to go breathe and let everything kind of be a little bit simpler for the time being. Now we're going to move over to the dry sink in the living room window. Now here I've got a lace kind of doily. It's a rectangle one, and I've placed that underneath this library light that I got off of Facebook Market. It has a shelf situation, if you can see, a little dust there, real life. I've placed some faux books and a faux plant here, and we're gonna keep this really simple. Okay, here on the coffee table, I've just added a doily, a wooden bowl from Aldi's with a bunch of faux greenery. I have to have faux greenery because I have cats, and if you look at it, he's already chewed on it. The fireplace that I have changed and faux treated and added molding, I will add the video in the description box if you would like to see how this is done, because this did not look this way when we moved in. I have not put anything on the mantle, but I just wanted to show the fireplace because I think I still love it. I think it's just gorgeous. So, and we have the cat tower here because you got cats, you got cats. Now, looking back, if you look over here at the drapes, okay, and if I take you further back and give you what I'm looking at. Okay, you see the drapes, you see the rod. Over here, if I pan from those gorgeous drapes, I know I keep going on, but I'll tell you, they make such a huge difference in this space. But here's the problem. See that? It looks uneven. But the French doors, we come and go out of these doors constantly. This is where I let the dogs out. This is where we come in. But that space above. Now, I had thought about putting drapes, but here's the problem. There is not enough space over there on the door that we come and go out of to push the drapes past the hinges so that I can open the door freely. But to me, it looks very uneven as far as the header above the drapes versus the French doors. I am thinking of maybe trying a piece of that iron scroll that I have in my utility room up here. So let me go grab that and let's see if it'll fit. All right, I'm gonna try it. I don't think this is gonna fit. I think it's too wide. We'll see. Nope. Great idea though. All right, y'all. I tried. I have a smaller one in my bedroom. All right, here's the other one. smaller, but I'm not sure that I may need to find something a little bit more longer. But that's what this would look like up here. And I think it's just not wide enough. Okay. Well, that may have to be for another day. So if you have any suggestions on what I could put up there, put them down in the comments. You guys are great for giving me ideas, and I always appreciate it. So, like I said, help. Okay, up here on the top on my peg rack, all I did is I took everything down to clean, and I've hung a large tray basket with those stems from Walmart. They're called rice stems, and that's that one that I thrifted that was originally from Target, and a couple little baskets and the scoop. Now down here I moved that antique desk kind of a little bit over with the chair, a little bit over, so it kind of flows in a triangle pattern from the grouping above it. I've got a desk lamp that I've had forever. There's no plug over here, so unless I want to run an extension cord. And what we're gonna do is I've got a table runner that came from Hobby Lobby. I've got a set of antique books that I collect when I go out thrifting or into the antique malls around here. I've got that napkin with that crocheted edge, a wooden apple. I'm just gonna set the wooden apple up there. And then I've got a tray with that topiary that I made and another faux plant. And I'm just gonna set that right here. And like I said, that's all we're gonna do. I want to thank you all for watching and for supporting me and being here. Without you, you know what? I couldn't have done the drapes. I couldn't have done the couch. I couldn't have done a lot of the improvements that I do around the house because your views are what pays me, okay? And I just tell you guys, I appreciate you so much. I really, really do. Your comments keep me going, encourage me when I'm feeling discouraged. You know, it's one of those things. It's a weird thing that the internet has caused these friendships that I have. I've never met you in person, but I look for you in the comments. I look at your little handle, your little icon, and I look forward to you guys. And I know the ones that comment each time. If you don't comment, I wonder where you're at. Sorry, the camera cut out. Like I said, I just want to thank each and every one of you that show up each week to watch my videos, that comment, that give me suggestions. Like I said, don't forget to tell me what you think I should do about the French doors. I also want to remind you, if you like the drapes, that the information from UniCurt is down in the description box. And I'll tell you, I don't think you'd be disappointed in the least. They are fantastic drapes. They changed my whole look of my living room, dining room. So with that being said, y'all, I will see you in the next video.